I'm Haley Shelton.
And I'm Michelle Shelton, and this is the Shelton Family Christmas 2010.
10 years ago, Aunt Susan made a video of us all telling what we wanted to get done when the new millennium started.
And we thought this was a great tradition and a great idea to continue. So, we're doing it again, in the same room.
Even though it's a lot different now, considering now the house is owned by Aunt Wendy instead of Roro.
How things change. Well, here we go, Shelton Family Christmas 2010.
Oh.
We're keeping this one.
What's your name?
Brian.
Brian what?
Nair.
And how old are you?
5.
And what's a mistake you've made sometime in your life?
That's the phone. Ignore that. It can be anything.
Okay. Smack my sister.
And in the next 10 years, what would you like to have done, or where do you see yourself?
I see myself right now.
You see yourself right now? But in the next 10 years, what would you like to do?
I'd like to see myself right now.
Okay.
So what's your name?
John Shelton.
And how old are you? Oh, wait. You don't have to answer that one. That's for kids.
49.
Don't you mean 36,
I thought you were
right?
29.
No, I like getting old.
Go, Haley.
So what is a huge mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
In the last 10 years, I don't make that many mistakes, and especially not huge ones. Well, I let my children grow old, and they were so cute before, and now that they're old, they're not nearly as cute.
Why would you do that? Okay.
No, Mother always calls me up on their birthdays and say, why did you let them grow old? And I don't know, just a huge mistake.
And in the next 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
Accomplished. All right, next 10 years, I'll be a life bridge master before I'm 50. I want to be retired. And I want to have gone to Japan and to have climbed one of the world's interesting mountains.
None the boring ones?
Kilimanjaro or the one outside of Tokyo. They seem to be easy to climb. That's why I'm going to do it. I don't want to climb one of those hard mountains. That's silly. One.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Michelle Josephine Shelton.
And in the last 10 years, what has been your biggest mistake?
That's a tough one. Probably not giving myself enough time to really enjoy what I'm doing. I tend to be, and I doubt this is going to change much, but going, doing different things, and I've enjoyed them all. But it'd be nice to have time to relax and enjoy my life. That life thing.
So in the next 10 years, what's something that you really want to get done?
I would like to find a job that makes me happy, that does good things for other people, something that I really feel like I'm doing something big for maybe not for the world, like I don't want to I don't want to cure cancer, but just something happy, something that's doing something big. Like right now I'm thinking about working for Disney. Hey future self, did I do that? Or I don't know, working in telecommunications. Maybe I do go back to acting. Who knows? Just something that'll make me happy. And I won't mind getting married in the next 10 years either.
Oh, and how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18. Full of hopes and dreams. What's your name?
Julie Shelton.
And what's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
I have a regret. Does that count?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I wish I would have known that my dad was so sick last time I saw him, because I really thought he'd be with us a while longer, and he wasn't.
And looking forward to the next 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
Oh, well, I really hope, my biggest wish right now, for all my kids to go to school, to find out what they want to be, and to pursue their careers or what they want to do, and just be happy. I think people need to be happier.
So what's your name?
Nick.
Nick what?
Rodriguez.
And how old are you?
10.
What's a big mistake you've made in your lifetime?
I'd say almost getting run over by a car.
Oh, that is a big mistake. And in 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
I see myself on a huge baseball field hitting balls.
Do you want to be a professional?
Bingo.
Cool.
So, what's your name?
Allie.
Allie what?
Allie Dyer.
And how old are you?
9.
So, what is a huge mistake you've made?
In the past 10 years.
She's not 10 yet.
Give me anything. You don't know?
Never made a mistake? Are you perfect?
No.
Do you wish you had been nicer to your siblings?
Yes.
Yes. Do you wish that you had showered your awesome cousins Haley and Michelle with lots of presents throughout the years?
No.
Okay. Then that was not a mistake. Okay. Looking forward, in the next 10 years, what would you like to have to get done?
Teach my dog TikTok.
Teach your dog to talk.
No. Teach my TikTok how to stop jumping and scratching.
Oh, that's good. Do you like your dog?
Yeah.
How old's your dog?
Maybe 1.5.
Wow.
What's your name?
Carol Shelton.
And what's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Oh my goodness, so many. Let's see. Coming back when it's so icy.
And in 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where would you see yourself?
I would have liked to have gotten old gracefully.
You've already done that.
So, what's your name?
Eric.
How old are you?
No, Eric what?
Sorry.
Eric Rodriguez.
And how old are you?
15.
What's a huge mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Let's see. There's a lot.
Just one.
Can be anything. It doesn't have to be the biggest.
Okay, that's not the biggest. Okay, then, I don't know. Maybe vandalizing a car.
Oh, that's not a good thing. In the next 10 years, what would you like to get accomplished? Or where do you see yourself?
I would like to see myself as a great car designer. Maybe custom fab. Or maybe something like in authorities.
Cool.
What's your name?
George Shelton, the third.
And what is a mistake you've made in the
Do I
last
look at
10
the
years?
camera or do I look
In the
at
camera.
the... Oh, okay.
What's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
That was not the question that I was prepped with.
I never prepped you for a question.
Oh, I've made a ton of mistakes in the last 10 years. One mistake was... here's one. The biggest one. I will, and this is a chance. I'm taking a chance by putting this on tape. But I have a profound problem with a food addiction, which ruins everything. I haven't. It spoils everything, and it keeps me from courting or having a career or children, et cetera, et cetera. And I would have dealt with it earlier. I'm dealing with it right now, but that's a huge thing. But maybe I can be a lesson to other people.
And in the next 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
In the next 10 years, am I still rolling?
Yes.
In the next 10 years, well, first of all, I want to perform better on this than I did on the prior one. I thought I lost. I thought I came in last place on the prior one, but I'm aiming for first on this one. And how am I doing, Director?
Excellent.
Okay. Okay. In the next 10 years, I want to set myself up so I have a good chance to get to heaven. I want to become an all-loving, that's too high. I want to become someone that has turned their lives inside out so that they are trying to be of service to other people, and whose heart, I want to be the kind of person whose heart is full of love, so that when I die, if that happens in the next 10 years, I'm 52 almost, if I die in the next 10 years, I will have a very good chance of appreciating God when I come face to face and see Him.
All right, what's up? Go.
What's your name?
My name is Stephen Shelton.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
And what is a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Mistake I've made in the last 10 years?
So
Well,
many.
I have to regret one time Haley slammed the door, Michelle slammed the door on Haley, and I wish I would have done more.
Not in the
stop
past 10
it.
years. You gotta do it in the past 10 years.
It's just been a regret of mine. Last 10 years? I don't think I've made any mistakes.
You're perfect.
Biggest mistake?
Not the biggest, just a mistake.
A mistake?
Yes.
Oh, I would have liked to get a B instead of a B plus or B minus in calc.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have
The
accomplished?
better mistake would be Grandpa's or Granddad's BMW. It's a good mistake. Anyways,
Well, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
where do I see myself in the next 10 years? I'd like to get a job. That would be awesome. That's what I'd like to accomplish. And where do I see myself in 10 years? I don't know.
What's your name?
Mike Shelton.
And what's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Mistake. And I probably doing this.
Wait a second.
Well, I can name many mistakes. When I was in Washington, I was riding my bike in the wintertime, and I fell into the reflective pond in front of the Lincoln Monument, and that was clearly a mistake. So that's it.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
Next 10 years. Next 10 years, I would like to be able to play bridge, and by the third time around, know what's in all four people's hand, or as close as you could.
So you want to be a
possibly
card
do that.
counter.
A perfectionist card counter.
So you want to go to Vegas and win a bunch of money.
Importantly, I would like to feel like as my 3 kids go off, which they will do very soon, on their own, that they have the confidence to spread their own wings and do whatever they feel they need to do on their own.
So, what's your name?
Jack.
Jack, what?
Oh,
You can do
Shelton.
this. How old are you?
15.
What is a huge mistake you've made within the last 10 years?
Oh, I didn't get any circles.
All right, now looking forward, in the next 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished?
I'd like to get the record on Nazi zombies. And get a circle.
So you have big goals, right?
Yeah, big goals.
Excellent. Hey there, what's your name?
Haley Shelton,
How old are you?
16, and you can tell because I have a driver's license.
Are you very proud of that?
Very proud of it. To my Beatles wallet.
Very nice. All right, so looking back on the past 10 years, what has been your biggest mistake?
Cutting my hair short.
Of all the 10 years, since you were
all
6
10
years
years.
old, you wish you didn't cut your hair short?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Now, In the next 10 years, what would you like to get accomplished?
Oh God. I'd like to get into a good college.
Excellent. What do you think you would like to go into at that college?
Designing lights for concerts.
Very cool. So would you want to do big concerts, or does it matter? Would you like to find one theater, or do you want to travel around?
Oh, I want to like go on tour with them.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet.
What's your name?
My name is Margie Shelton.
And what's a big mistake you've made in the past 10 years?
Oh my gosh. A big mistake?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't have to be the biggest.
It doesn't
just
have-
a mistake.
Okay, just a mistake that I've made in the past 10 years. Let's see. Well, right now, Michelle, I'm thinking that I should have traded in my cars a little sooner than I did, because after a while you start spending good money after bad, and it gets a little, and I guess that's kind of where I am right now.
Very good.
That's a mistake.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
Well, back to the car theme. I haven't bought a car in a long time because I haven't found one that I've liked other than the ones that I have. But in 2011, there's 2 new cars that I like. So I hope in the next 10 years to buy one of these 2011 cars. And I'm going to tell you which ones they are. So in 10 years, we can see if I did it or not. One's a Hyundai Elantra Limited. And the other one is a Chevy Cruze. And both models are new for 2011. And so I'm kind of excited about maybe buying one.
Very cool. Lava lampa. So what's your name?
My name is Maggie Shelton,
And how old are you?
18.
And what is a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Oh, the mistake I've made in the last 10 years. Ooh, they were talking about car crashes downstairs. Mistake I've made in the last 10 years. I'm just perfect, so I don't think I've made any mistakes. Mistake I've made in the last 10 years. I don't know if it's 10 years ago. Remember I got in a fight with Jack, and then they wouldn't let me watch the second Notre Dame. No, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I've never seen that movie, and the rest of my family has.
I'm
It's
sorry.
very sad.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
Well, I would like to get a job and be a very wealthy chemical engineer. I'd like to study abroad at some point, travel the world. It's awesome. I came up with a whole list of things downstairs because I figured you'd ask that question.
Do you
But
leave
yeah.
it downstairs?
What?
Just left the list downstairs?
Apparently I left the list downstairs.
Let's see your boots real quick.
My boots! Woo!
Woo!
Skinny jeans.
Very nice. What is your name?
Wendy Shelton.
And what is a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
What is a mistake I've made?
Yes.
Well, according to my children, cutting their bangs myself across their little foreheads. That was apparently a big mistake.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
In the next 10 years, well, I would like to have my children mostly through college. Let's see, in 10 years, Rosie will be 18, so I guess she'll just be going off. But the rest of everyone should be done. And that will be, and I'll bet Uncle John will be retiring or close to retiring. So it'll be a whole nother adventure then, because we'll be almost done with college and John will be probably done working. So then we'll just have a bunch of playtime, I'm thinking.
What's your name?
Abby Shelton.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
How goes talking?
It's good.
What's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
A mistake in the last 10 years.
Could be anything. It doesn't have to be the biggest, just a mistake.
A mistake I've made in the last... Well, I opened the fridge, and at a house I was babysitting, and the butter thing fell out. It just shattered all across the floor.
And in 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
I want to go to college.
What's your name?
George Shelton.
And in the last 10 years, what is a mistake you've made?
I don't know that I've made any.
Okay, so in the next 10 years, what would you like to accomplish, or where do you see yourself?
I see myself being a life master at bridge.
What's your name?
I'm Katie.
Katie what? Oh, Katie what?
Katie Shelton.
And how old are you?
16.
And what's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
Well, I don't know.
It could be anything. What's something you regret? It doesn't have to be the biggest. Just something.
Well, I lost that spiny pine number 1. I don't know what happened to
Very
it.
dramatic. And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
Well, I wanted to go to college. Hopefully not Oakton Community College. And I don't know. Maybe married. Probably not though. That's a little soon.
Have a. What's your name?
Terry Dyer.
And what's a mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
I don't really know any. I mean, there's lots of little mistakes, but I wouldn't think there were anything really major. Maybe not not having more children. Susan wanted to have more children, and we didn't have more children.
And in the next 10 years, what would you like to have accomplished, or where do you see yourself?
I guess one thing I'd like to do now that I'm over 40 is I'd like to race my motorcycle at least one more time. As far as accomplishments, get my children raised, keep them all in line, I guess.
What's your name?
Susan Dyer.
And what's a huge mistake you've made in the last 10 years?
A big mistake I made was naming Brian Brian. I never felt like I should name him Brian, and I realized when he was about 3 I should have named him Kevin. So everyone should start calling him Kevin now.
And in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself, or what would you like to have accomplished?
10 years from now, I would like to have a patent with my husband that is profitable, that makes us money.
Extending the deadline from last time?
Yes, exactly. Well, it's still the millennium. It's still the same millennium.
Good, you still have time.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Excellent.